By the end of this effect, your audience will believe that cards really can talk. This self-working miracle uses any shuffled deck, it's easy to learn, and it fools everyone. So, grab a deck, hit subscribe if you're into clever tricks, and let's unleash the impossible. Okay, so as ever, let's just kickstart by taking a look at the effect itself, a demonstration of how you can communicate with cards. And we're going to start with a shuffled deck. So just hand the cards to a spectator. They can shuffle those as much as they like. They really are mixed. You're now going to turn away so that you can't see anything that's going on. And you're going to ask the spectator to take the deck and to deal 2 piles of cards, each containing the same number of cards. Now, in the interest of time, not too many cards, say between 10 and 20, but it really is a free choice. So let's say in this instance, the spectator decides to deal 2 piles of 12 cards. They'll deal the first pile, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then the second pile, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Obviously doing that silently so that you can't hear. And once they've done that, they can just place the rest of the deck to the side. With yourself still looking away, you're now going to ask the spectator to select a pile. And again, it's a totally free choice. They can select either pile. Let's say they select this pile here. You're going to ask them to take this pile and just give the cards a shuffle, and then place them back down on the table. And once they're happy they're mixed, just to take the top card and to remember this as their selected card. So here we can see the 2 of spades, and once they've remembered that, just to place it back on top of the pack. Ask the spectator now to take the other pack, so this pack just here, and to give these cards a shuffle. And from this pack to cut any number of cards they like and to place them on top of their selected card in order to lose it. And again, this is a totally free choice. Let's say they cut the cards just here and place them on top of their selected card. You're going to ask the spectator to take the remaining cards they're holding and to place these out of sight to hide them, so there's no way that you can see. And with that done, you can now turn back around towards the cards. And at this point, you can just emphasize to the spectator that their selection was totally free and fair. They could have selected any card. There's no way that you could know the identity of the card or the position of that card. It could literally be anywhere. However, you can explain that through an ability to talk with the cards, you're now going to try to locate that card without even looking, with the cards behind your back. And with that said, you'll just place the pack behind your back, like so. And with the pack out of sight, you can just explain that you're now communicating with the cards. You're just picking up some messages from the cards here, and actually you're just going to riffle the cards a couple of times, just to make a slight noise. And you can explain that that's the cards talking to you. And that's what's going to enable you to find the spectator's card. Okay, so once you think you've found the card, you can just bring the pack back out to the front. And with that done, you can just take the top card from the pack and turn this face up on the table. Now, the spectator is unlikely to look impressed, and you can just confirm with them that that isn't their card, but you know that because that would be too easy. What you've actually done is something way more difficult. Reminding the spectator that they removed a totally random number of cards from the pack, you can now ask them to bring those cards out to the front. For the very first time, you can now ask the spectator to count the number of cards they removed. So in this instance, 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Reminding the spectator there's absolutely no way that you could have known that number. It is totally random. You can explain that through communicating with the cards, not only have you found their card, but you've actually moved it to a position in this pack corresponding exactly to that number. So in this instance, the 4th card. So you can take the pack just here and now count down to that card. Remember, we already have the first card on the table here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can just place the final card to the side. For the very first time, you can now ask the spectator to name their selected card. Of course, in this instance, it was the 2 of spades, and now you can reveal that this card here, the card you moved to be the 4th card, is indeed the 2 of spades. A super impressive location that's also super easy to perform, so stick around because now I will show you exactly how it works. Okay, so let's take a look at the secret to this effect. Now, you really do start with a shuffled deck. The spectator can shuffle the cards as much as they like. It all adds to the impact. As you look away, you're going to ask the spectator to take the deck and to deal 2 piles of cards, each containing the same number of cards. Now, technically for this to work, each pile can contain between 7 and 20 cards, but I think saying between 10 and 20 just sounds more natural. So let's say in this instance, the spectator deals 2 piles of 11 cards. They can then place the rest of the cards to the side as you no longer need those. The spectator can now select either of these packs. It's a totally free choice. And once they've selected a pack, just ask them to give the pack a shuffle and then remember the top card as their selected card. So let's say they've selected this pack just here. Here we can see the Jack of Hearts is the selected card, and then ask them to place this card back on top of their selected pack. Ask the spectator now to take the other pack, and they can now shuffle these cards to make sure they really are mixed. And from this pack, ask them now to cut any number of cards they like and place them on top of their selected card. Of course, making sure that they still have some cards left over, but it really is a free choice. Let's say they cut the cards just here. They'll place the cut cards on top of their selection and then ask them to place the rest of the cards out of sight, hidden, so that you can't see. With that done, you can now turn back around towards the cards. At this point, you're going to place the cards behind your back in order to talk to them, but here's what you actually do. You're simply going to push off the top card into your other hand and then push off the bottom card on top of that card. And you're simply now going to repeat this for all of the cards. So again, pushing off the top card on top of the cards and then taking the bottom card on top of the cards. And you can just do this as you casually talk about your ability to be able to communicate with the cards. Once all of the cards are transferred, you can then just bring the pack back out to the front. The spectator's selected card will now be at a position in this pack corresponding to the secret number of cards that they're hiding. Ask the spectator now to bring those cards out to the front and to count them aloud to the table. So in this instance, 1, 2, 3 cards. You can now take the pack here and count down to the card at that number. 1, 2, 3, placing the final card to the side. And all that's left to do now is to reveal that this card is miraculously the spectator's selected card. In this instance, the Jack of Hearts. And there you have it. Remember, every effect you master proves that focus and action can lead to amazing results. Carry that focus with you everywhere and you'll start to see just how far your potential can go. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next tutorial.